A very good morning. This presentation is brought to you by Resonate International with a mission to leverage knowledge worldwide. The topic being covered is ego and the energy within, rising beyond the self. Ladies and gentlemen, ego is not a flaw nor a failing. It is a function formed to help the mind navigate identity, maintain boundaries, and assert individuality. At the healthiest, it appears as self-respect, confidence, and clarity of role. But over time, this subtle structure begins to harden. What starts as self-definition often drifts into self-centeredness. It becomes the silent need to prove, to possess, to prevail, without knowing why. And slowly, ego stops serving the self and starts ruling it. Understanding this shift is not just a matter of philosophy. It is vital to personal peace, relational harmony, and even the way energy flows within the brain and body. Because ego, if unexamined, can become the very lens that distorts reality, blinding the mind, draining the soul, and veiling the deeper truth of existence. Modern neuroscience identifies the ego with the default mode network, DMN, the region of the brain active during internal narration, self-judgment, comparison, and rumination. When overactive, it narrows perception and fosters emotional instability. Physiologically, this translates into erratic cortisol rhythms, shallow breath, and cognitive tension. Neurologically, it constrains the brain's plasticity, its capacity to renew and rewire. In daily life, ego is rarely visible as loud arrogance. More often, it takes quieter forms: the need to be right, the discomfort in being overlooked, the subtle resistance to correction. It builds hierarchies within families, divides societies into us and them, and makes nations assert dominance over dialogue. From a cosmobiological lens, the human brain is an energy matrix, absorbing, generating, and transmitting vibrational frequencies. Ego-based patterns cause energy blockages, often experienced as fatigue, confusion, or conflict. Ancient Indian seers knew this instinctively. They spoke of Ahamkara, the I maker, as the wheel between the soul and the cosmos. The Taoists observed that when the ego tightens, the Tao cannot flow. Yet, ego is not the enemy. It is the beginning. Its presence signals the opportunity to evolve. When awareness grows, brain waves begin to shift from rigid beta states to flowing alpha and gamma rhythms. The energy once trapped in egoic defense becomes available for insight, compassion, and higher creativity. What's the way forward? Transformation begins not with rejection of ego, but with repositioning it. Through meditation, breath work, devotion, and deep listening, the mind rewires, the body softens, and the spirit awakens. These are not mystical ideas. They are neuroenergetic realities confirmed by both science and scripture. Receiving energy through silence, nature, or sacred sound restores inner balance. Generating energy through kindness, gratitude, and presence builds spiritual muscle. Giving energy through compassion and understanding completes the circuit, creating resonance rather than resistance. Each movement offers a choice to tighten or to release, to judge or to witness, to control or to trust. In conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, the Bhagavad Gita profoundly offers a radiant direction. It speaks of action beyond attachment, wisdom beyond identity, and presence beyond pride. Lord Krishna's words to Arjuna do not command surrender, they illuminate it. To act from soul, not ego. To serve the purpose, not the persona. When ego is no longer the center, the self begins to orbit something far more luminous, the divine intelligence of the cosmos. And in that orbit, thought becomes still, presence becomes power, and the self becomes a flame, quiet, steady, and boundless. Good luck, best wishes, and God bless.